time or two. And a lot of people say, well, what about right around me? What about here in Texas? What about this area around me in Georgia? We got some stuff growing up here in North Carolina. What about over here in Iowa or Florida? We get it all the time. We've looked at all those markets. But there are some very basic things that none of those have that we have right here in California, not available elsewhere. And the key driver for this is population. One of the key drivers for all real estate is a high demand and a limited supply. That's the basic of all economics, and that's what everything is based on. So you guys are looking at this little circle. It's a 60-mile radius of LA. You'll notice that a third of that is over water, and this is the second largest economy in the entire U.S. and the 8th largest in the world. The 8th or is the 6th? I've got my thing blocking. Let me minimize this. 15th largest economy in the world, second in the U.S. Just by itself, that's how big it is. So what we really want to be able to do, guys, is talk about what this does. On top of the fact that it's a large economy, it hosts 50% of California's entire population, one of the most densely populated states in the entire country, and 50% of it lives in that circle, with a third of it over water. 19.2 million people live in that circle, with expecting a net move-ins of 1.9 million more over the next 10 years. We got those from the U.S. statistics or from the U.S. Census. We're excited because this is another census year, and we want to see what the other projections are going to be. Because even with the net move-ins, we've seen massive growth in the areas that we've been working in over the last 10 years. There are more people living in that circle right now than the entire state of Oregon, Nevada, Arizona, Idaho, Utah, Montana, Wyoming, New Mexico combined. This is the reason. I live out here in Arizona, guys, and people always ask me, why aren't we doing this in Arizona? And everywhere I go in the country, people always ask, well, what about this area near me? And they're all fantastic. You could probably do pretty good in those areas, but we don't want probably. We want certainty, right? Why is California real estate so stupidly expensive? Because there's so many people who want it and such a limited supply of it available. There are more people living here demanding this real estate than anywhere else. And how much room is left in California? The answer is not very much. So we're going to take a look at this at the next slide. It's actually going to show us we are built out entirely to the oceans and to the mountains. There's literally no room left in LA except for this one last area in LA County just north of the mountains of this 14 freeway to a little area called Lancaster and Palmdale. These are two cities that are growing towards each other. In 2008, their population was 180,000 people. As of the last time there was a count just a few years ago, they were up to almost 600,000 people in the last 10 years. So they've over tripled in size because this is the last area in a commutable distance to the heart of LA, a 50-minute commute, which is very reasonable by LA standards because they have 2- and 3-hour commutes depending upon traffic and where they're going. This allows us to have a 12-lane superhighway that has 72,000 daily commuters travel down from the valley into LA and 25,000 people that commute from LA back up here for all the aerospace and technology jobs. Because jobs are one of those key drivers. And we're going to talk about the research that goes into this. But this is always the key, supply and demand. High demand, limited supply. There's a lot of other things that we go into here, but this is what the properties we look like going. As Adamo mentioned, that we do this 20 to 40% below market. So this right here is talking about one of our parcels right here, actually two of our parcels you'll see right here, right in the middle of things. You can see that's the major 14 freeway going straight to LA. We've got Target, 24-hour fitness, Lowe's, University, the courthouse, the Transit Authority, Costco, Home Depot, Walmart, colleges, Kaiser Permanente, LA Palmdale Regional Airport. There's a lot of massive growth in this area. And as you can see, this is in the middle of things. This is not out in the middle of nowhere. This is in an area that in the next 10 years can't help but be developed because of where it is. Now let's take a look at these two parcels a little bit more closely. Right, these two parcels right here, we want to talk about what happened to them, right? This right here is the Kaiser Permanente. This is a gorgeous building. It's a world-class green energy building. All of that glass along the front is solar, right? This is the green energy capital of the world and of the United States. Over 30% of all of California's electricity is generated by green energy, and they have a mandate that 50% of it will be generated by 2030. So everything produces its own electricity. World-class, multi-$200 million building. This is the courthouse. Take a look at all the dirt around that courthouse. This is a $200 million courthouse made to serve all of this area. When you think about what goes around courthouses, what goes there? Banks, attorneys, people who service, who do stuff with the county, who work with these people, restaurants to serve with those people, and yet it's dirt. The county doesn't just randomly place these things. They do lots of research and zoning and building before they invest this kind of capital to know where the center is going to be. Also, Walmart's another great indicator. Some people love Walmart. Some people hate Walmart, think they're the evil empire. And whatever they are, love them or hate them, they make money. And Walmart don't fail. They don't close. Now, what's interesting is if you go take a look at Walmart, you'll find out that in order to support a Walmart, they require 250,000 neighborhood residents to support a local Walmart because they have a volume business. They do not have large margins. They have thin margins. So they have to have a large volume. Now, Walmart is actually one of the largest land banking companies in the world. They go out and they buy their land in advance of building their store secretly because if anybody knows Walmart's buying it, they're going to build right next to it. Right? So Walmart buys it secretly to not drive up the price. And then as the population comes in, as their research and analyst departments predict it does, they then build their stores before the population gets there, so they own the market. Currently, there are 6 fully built out Walmarts in this area already. Meaning they're expecting a net population of 1.5 million people. And as I said, there's currently only 600,000. So that's why we use Walmart as one of these indicators, because if you take a look at Walmart, by themselves, they're the 19th largest economy in the world. If Walmart was a country, it's the 19th largest economy in the world. So there's a lot of incredible things happening right there right now. And that's you see, there's a lot of other companies that you recognize all around this area. This is an area full of growth. Another guy who's investing in the area, Warren Buffett, right? The Oracle of Omaha, right? One of the smartest investors of our time and our day. He has spent over $2.2 billion investing in the Antelope Valley, and he wants to invest more. He's built the world's largest solar farm, $2.5 billion to build that. It's fully constructed, created thousands of new jobs, and it powers over 1 million homes. And he actually wants to build more out in this area. He also owns a 10% share in a company called BYD, Build Your Dreams. It's an electric bus company from China. Actually, it's from Japan. I take that back. It's from Japan. And they moved their world headquarters here several years ago, and they've had to have 5 different expansions because they keep getting so many contracts to build these buses. They don't have enough room to build them. If they got no more expansions and no more contracts, they'd be fully built out for the next 7 years at full capacity. That's how quickly they're growing, and this is because Warren Buffett said this is the area you want to be in, that green energy capital of the world. Talks about Kaiser, the green energy, all the technology in the medical space. There are huge medical world-class campuses going in here. So medical and high technology are some of the major things that are going into this area, creating high-paying jobs. So this is allowing, this is like similar to the Silicon Valley up north, where it was all about the software and the engineering. This is all about high technology and aerospace. Some of the largest things that are happening in the area. Transportation, one of the key things. There's a lot of transportation in all this area, but the biggest one is the high-speed rail going all across California. Now, a lot of people say, oh, this thing is never going to happen, whatever. It's actually under construction currently. What you see down here at the end is the Arctic, just a few miles away from the happiest place on earth. It's Disneyland. It's $180 million to build. It's the final stop for the high-speed rail, and it's been fully constructed for several years. This is moving forward, and it's going right through here. And everywhere there's a stop of this high-speed rail, it's going to expand. And guess where there's a stop? Right here in the Antelope Valley. But there's actually, this isn't all. There's another train between LA and Las Vegas. Now, our president, love him or hate him, he's got some interest in Las Vegas and would love to have some people come here. This train has been proposed for several years. It's been going to be built, had a variety of contracts. As a matter of fact, China was going to build. They offered to build and pay for the entire train as long as they got to keep all the revenue. Trump came in and said, we like America, and said this has to be built by Americans. It's now, as of 2019, under construction by a company called Brightline out of Florida with Richard Branson. Virgin Galactic, Virgin Trains, Virgin Planes, right? Virgin Mobile, that Richard Branson billionaire, he's the guy who's helping to fund and pay for all this to make sure that it all happens. So there's a lot of growth happening here. But even if either of these two trains, for some reason, don't happen, right? It doesn't matter. It's still a basics of supply and demand. These are just additional things that add on top of that basic level. So let's talk about some of the other jobs. Northrop Grumman. They recently landed a contract for 100 new long-range stealth bombers, creating over 6,000 new jobs. They're literally growing so quickly that they have to have shifts that start every 5 minutes, because if they had shifts that started on the hour, they wouldn't be able to get everybody into the parking lot in time. So they have to have shifts that are staggered by every 5 minutes so that there isn't chaos in their parking lot and people can get in and out. These thousands of new high-paying aerospace jobs means they're recruiting engineers from all over the country to come in here and work and get great living wages to be able to, recruit them away from other companies. Continuing forward, we talk all about this Antelope Valley, this high technology hub. It's ready for business. There are a lot of things that are happening in this area. I'm going through some of this quickly, guys. This is what goes on in our land banking presentation. We go through a lot of this with people. We talk about the Olympics coming to LA and all the growth, building growth and expansion that goes with that. Getting ready for it. One of the biggest things they need in LA is public transportation. So they're spending $874 million. Well, actually, it's about $2 billion. But in 2017 alone, it generated $874 million building this Measure M, which allows them to build all kinds of new light rails, buses, and everything else to be able to help handle the load of people when they're coming through in LA. Because the biggest problem in LA is traffic. So if there's a better public transportation system, more people can get around. This right here is the first freeway set to be built in LA in the last 25 years, and this is fully under construction already. They've already begun buying land and beginning to work on this roadway. It's already passed all the zoning phases, the construction phase, or the approval phase is already going. And this road right here is where that Las Vegas high-speed rail is going to go right up the center of. So again, more growth, more access and availability to get in here. Talking about all the home builders, there's about 40 home builders in the area who are building lots of homes that are world-class homes. And this is the thing. One of the key drivers for all of building growth and expansion is low-cost, affordable housing. Think about the areas where you live. In the heart of town, everything's expensive. So typically, where do young couples and people who need to be buying first homes and starter homes or more home go? They move to the outskirts because of low-cost, affordable housing. They can buy more house on the outskirts than they can afford to buy in the middle. The median home price in the middle of Orange County is $685,000. Out here, the median home price is closer to $300,000. That means that young couples can afford to work at Home Depot and Walmart and on their joint salary be able to afford a $300,000 home, be making an okay living and doing some good things. That's why people are able to still be moving out here, because there's 10 million people in the heart of LA who can't afford a home. They have to be renters. So that's why as they start to build out and build and expand, more and more people are moving out in these directions. Again, this is a third-party study of over 9,000 properties over a 17-year period. This includes 2008, so the best of the best and the worst of the worst. And this third-party study, you guys, it's available for people to be able to take a look at that. It tells the average hold time is 3.7 years, and the average rate of return is 24% per year. Now, we tell you it's 7 to 10, 7 to 10, 7 to 10. If you do not have 7 to 10 years to wait for your money, you do not belong in land. Why? Because it's not liquid. Once your money is in this land, it stays there until a developer comes to purchase it. Right? We don't want to be trying to get in and out of this land, because the only people taking it from you will be investors. And what do investors want to do? They want to buy it at a discount and make some money. So we're buying it 20 to 40% below market. That's how we acquire the property, so our clients can have it 20 to 40% below market and be able to benefit from those big gains. So once our money's in this, it's not going anywhere. So we only put a small percentage of someone's overall portfolio into this, and and we want to be able to make sure they have 7 to 10 years before they're going to need this money. In addition to that, what if it doesn't do 24%? We just say double digits. How awful would it be if it only did 10% a year, for the next 7 years? We would double our money. This, guys, is an opportunity to catch up or get ahead. For those of us who maybe just lost the money in this market correction, we're going, man, I wish I could get some money into a more stable environment, something that was non-correlated to the market, that always would have its value and could have great return potential. Do you think this would help anybody get caught up, maybe get ahead? Right? They probably just lost 20 to 30% in their portfolio. What if they could make 20% a year to earn that money back? If they've got the 7 to 10 years, this is a great tool to help them make back the money they just lost. So who is this good for? Someone looking for a long-term stable investment, recovering from a stock market loss. Do we know anybody recovering from a stock market loss right now, guys? Do we know anybody who could benefit for being in a diversified asset that's physical, that's not just going to magically disappear one day like the 401k. Waiting on an investment, wanting an investment you can understand, needing peace of mind about retirement, tired of worrying about all the economic volatility. Will it be there? Will it not be there? Worried about how your estate will be distributed, with wanting a sustainable legacy plan, and holding 40K or more in qualified account in a portfolio, right? So it's 40 grand in cash, or an IRA, or in a Roth, or in a private reserve account. If you guys have money in any of these types of vehicles, these are assets that could be used for purchasing real estate, such as land banking. We want to be able to help you guys to be able to do this, right? So how can you land bank? These are all types of accounts that are available and eligible for land banking, depending upon your area. So what I want to do, guys, is actually just talk about, land. Have you guys ever said to yourself, if I'd known then what I know now, life would be different today? How many times have you said that is a better question? Because we absolutely have all said it to ourselves. Maybe it was about a business opportunity or real estate opportunity or something else. Guys, we want you to stop saying that to yourselves. So here's what we want to do, guys. We've got this call here. For the future, we have a lot of people come on the land banking call, just wanted to know what it is. This is what it is, guys. So if you are qualified for this investment, we'd love for you to book a land banking consultation. So what does that mean? You need to have at least $40,000, probably closer to $60,000 to $80,000, because we don't want to put 100% of your money into land, right? $40,000 in IRAs, 401ks, and or cash available that we could shift into something like this, right? So if you got 401k at an old 401k, an old IRA, or something else like that, that you think, man, I wish I could get it out of the stock market. I'm tired of seeing all this crazy crashing, and instead I'd like to see some of this land, protected, safe, and getting solid growth year after year after year. Schedule that land banking consultation. Now, maybe though, a friend or family member who equally had a major stock market crash and would love to be able to own real estate but never known how to. Would love to have someone be able to show them how to be able to do it, where they don't have to worry about tenants, trash, or toilets, flips, or unforeseen expenses, or unforeseen anything else. It's simple. It's set it and forget it. Just let it be, and it'll continue to grow, and eventually there's going to be somebody come knocking on that door saying, hey, we'd like to buy your property because we want to build a shopping center. We need to build storage facilities, or a warehouse, or a business of some kind on this property, because we need it, and we're happy to pay you for it, because we know we need to make the money that we're going to make from developing and running our businesses, so we need your property. That's what this is, guys. This is very, very simple and easy to understand. It's an investment we've all seen right before our eyes. If I asked you to explain to me how your 401k and how your mutual funds worked, you probably couldn't explain it to me. And if you talk to your friends at work and say, hey, can you explain to me how your mutual funds and 401ks actually make money and lose money? They couldn't. But if you ask them, and said, can you imagine a place where you used to live for 15 or 20 years, where there just used to be fields and open space around there, and then suddenly one day overnight, it exploded into growth and development? Like, yeah, absolutely. Oh, I can think about this one place I used to ride my bike by every single day on my way to school, or whatever it is. If you'd known back then what you know now, how much that real estate do you wish you would have owned? MWR can help you do that with your IRA and your 401k. Let's get it out of the market and get it into a protected vehicle where it can make great money and help you make back from the money you lost in the stock market. This is your call to action. If you have $40,000 or more in your IRA or 401k, you can think about scheduling a land banking consultation, right? This might be right for you. In addition to that, if you know somebody who's taken a significant stock market crash and has lost money, real estate may be a great avenue for them to take a look at as well. We look forward to being able to talk to you guys and seeing all the things that we can do to help you. Please, guys, take the time, talk to somebody, take a look at your own situation, and make sure that you take advantage of this MWR for the best for yourself. Hey, guys, thank you so much for getting on here tonight. We've really enjoyed the time you spent with us. We want to make sure that you have time to take action. So some of you might have booked 45 minutes or an hour for this call. Take the extra 30 minutes and call somebody. Take action, and take action with the rest of your day. Hey, guys, thank you so much. Enjoy to your success.
Goodbye.